Yeah. So it comes down to one thing. This is about banking the unbanked. I'm a huge believer in this, which is why we are building our own crypto wallet. And also, it's a great opportunity I see in our time to be in this space. The work that you guys are doing, just getting that content out there. We're doing the same thing. We're in the same war on poverty. Like let's be real. And the more that we put out there, the more they have to arm themselves with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a big goal is to try to help. I mean, if you take a country like Vietnam, which has 100 million people, do you know there's only 1 million people that have credit cards that can go and buy Netflix? So that means there's an untapped market of 99 million people who are basically sitting there unable to get Netflix or buy something online. And that's huge. That's enormous. It's just one country. I know you talked about Africa and subcontinent, but I like to talk about other countries like Asia too, because, Vietnam is a powerhouse right now in terms of the money and the crypto, and it's creating huge disparity between rich and poor. And yet there's so many people there who don't have access to basic things like internet, Netflix or whatever. And I use Netflix as an example because everybody wants to watch a good movie here and there. And even if it's subtitled, why not? And by giving them a nice app, like a wallet app, and being able to have a little bit of crypto on there, why not enable them to all be able to subscribe to services in general that they're unable to subscribe to generally? And don't even get me started on how the people who can't get access to banking because the nearest bank is 150 or 200 miles away.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So here's a question for you. It's going to be a little bit of a side note question, but it's kind of interesting. So you've come from the world of capital raising and venture capital, that kind of thing. You're now in this new world that Yuri and I love and appreciate, which is the unbanked, and yet we have these things called STOs. So honest opinion, what do you think about STOs? Because I know that they do limit people quite a bit in terms of have to be accredited investor to participate. And that means we're eliminating a lot of people from participation. Does that kind of fall in alignment with your past way of looking at things? Do you see it as a future? What's your kind of take on the whole STO market?
I think you need some kind of regulation period when you're dealing with securities. And if we are classifying them as securities, and I'm not a lawyer and I'm not advising anyone on the show. Full disclaimer.
No, we have got a big banner for that anyway. So don't you're covered by our disclaimer.
My lawyer will want me to reiterate this over and over again. So there's my own opinion here. So basically, I think that the more secure that we can make investing for everyone, the better we're going to be. And those people that want to invest in non-security tokens will. You can't stop them. Can we make Bitcoin a security? Can we? Is that even a possibility?
For Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Well, the SEC has already said that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not part of the problem. But I'm talking about if every other coin, as far as the SEC is concerned, is a security. I guess my question is really about how do we enable the unbanked to participate in a world where everything's being deemed a security, and yet we're trying to create an environment where they can actually participate. And they are at odds with each other in many ways, because for me, the hybrid of an ICO and a security should be something in the middle that doesn't lock us out to being accredited only investors. For example, I'd like for other people to be able to participate that have $10,000 they'd like to invest that can't prove to have $1 million in the bank or $200,000 in income or whatever it is, because it's just like, it's very limiting for a lot of people around the world who cannot participate. So
correct.
I just wonder whether there's a middle ground that we need to find here.
But not everybody's going to abide by SEC. Like, you've got a lot of countries that are
outside. Oh, for sure. I realize that. Yeah, I'm just using it as a broad stroke statement.
In that sense, for those who want the added protection, they've got it. And for those where they want to participate, like you said, Bitcoin and Ethereum, their SEC can't do anything about them. They already exist. So we're going to find things that are already out there that anyone can participate in, and that's the space where they're going to play. And the exchanges are going to figure this out. They're going to say, you know what, this token is going to have this value against Ethereum, Bitcoin, and asset, whatever. And you will see stable coins also out there. And so the thing is, there's what's coming is choice. What you didn't have is choice. You're going to do it this way, and this is the only way. Bullshit. It's going to be whatever way you want to do it. And then countries Zimbabwe or Venezuela or, you know, countries like you said in other parts of the world, island states. Like the game is about to shift.
Yeah.
You can't control. It's decentralized now, and people are buying into this decentralization.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they can say, well, that centralized system, we don't want to play ball with you anymore.
Yeah. So does it concern you at all, the current, I mean, I know you've come from an Indian background and you've spent some time there in your younger days. Does it concern you at all, the current direction that the Indian government is going to try to ban and block all of it just outright?
So when I look at India, or when I look at China for that matter, or some of these other governments, when you're dealing with mass populations like 1.4 billion, 1.7 billion, these numbers, what's going to ultimately happen is you need to realize that they are controlling it until the point where they see the market opportunity. Yeah, and they can launch their own coin. So rupee against a dollar. It's like any idiot.
So the rupee coin's coming then, huh?
No, we don't know. I'm not announcing anything, but
no. Of course you're not. We're joking around here.
Yeah.
There's no lawyers involved in this show. Don't worry.
It would not surprise me if India and China, or Brazil for that matter, or Russia, ultimately they can decide at any time. It's their own government. The question is, you have a mass adoption that needs to happen, and I think it's almost like when we were in 2000, like during the internet time, everybody's just getting their first email and you're saying, look, e-commerce is the future. Mm-hmm. I was one of those who was just like, wow, this is going to change the world.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, nobody's going to buy online. Who's going to buy online? I got so much pushback from people that, you know, I have a master's in e-commerce. So at that point, my own family, when I spoke to them, I was like, I'm going to do a master's in e-commerce. They're like, yeah, okay, this is the future. And now you look at Amazon and it's worth what, $168 billion. It is what it is. And so the thing is, this is really going to take its time. I foresee in the next 10 years or the next 20 years, it's a whole new planet.
Yeah. So what's the future of the projects you're working on 5 years, 10 years from now with Qrypto Queens and women in investing? Where do you want to see that go in the next few years?
So in the best case scenario, we'll have millions of downloads, hopefully, of the wallet. We get a wallet there. That's assuming like we figure this thing out and it's done and everything is working the way it should work. Is we have this wallet, and then we can track engagement and see like how money is being invested, like amounts and where it's going. That data is going to be super important because then we can decide on what sorts of things that we need to focus on to improve women, the state of women and economic empowerment of women. And this is the tool that I've been dreaming of for myself and for other women that I work very closely with.
Amazing.
And then on top of that, it's obviously getting our children engaged. So when you get your women engaged, the family gets engaged, and especially in emerging markets. And I know how this works, having an Indian background, but I work a lot in the Middle East. I'm starting to do some work in Africa, and they are begging for this. Like, I know that, you know, where we're starting now is not where we're going to end up. It's already, we've got global interest. And so, and my background has been global as well. And so I do see a number of people in emerging markets really taking the lead in how this new world is going to be reshaped. And people that are sitting on the sidelines being skeptical are just going to watch things explode on the other side of the planet. And that's my humble opinion on what the potential is.
Yeah.
In the same way, I also see women who've wanted to participate sitting in Western economies, developed economies, saying, you know what, finally, I can do this, I can mitigate risk, and I can also do it at a level that I'm comfortable with, which was unprecedented before.
For sure. Absolutely.
So I do foresee like us being a very integral part of this. We already are an integral part of this. We're one of the first movers in the space that have come from traditional finance in this way, and we've been bullish from day one. And so, you know, just keep going, doing what we're doing, partnering with people like yourselves, and just, you know, getting down and dirty, like from the beginning. We're here to build this new future.
So here's the last question. It's got to be the easiest question, of course. If there's one thing you'd like to leave everyone to think about, or as a takeaway as we wrap up the episode, what would that one thing be you'd like to tell people?
At some point, you're gonna have to take the leap and really give this new paradigm a chance. And I encourage you to learn as much as you can before you take the leap. So don't do it blindly. Find yourself a community, get yourself well educated, and start at a level that you're really comfortable with, and learn as you go. You're not going to get it all at once. And this is specifically to my women's audience, which is, you've got this, girl. Like you definitely got this. And once you figure this out, you can go at higher numbers that you're comfortable with and try different types of investing. But let's just get you started, and the future is yours, really. Like if you want to learn, there's enough resources out there, and I know we'll be working on more content together. And just stay tuned with what content that you guys are producing. Listen to the experts, and just really take control of your future. That's my advice.
That's great advice. Thank you so much, Anu Bhardwaj. It's been a real pleasure. Check her out on CryptoQueens.com. Of course, she's got the SHEQ wallet. We'll put links down by there. I can't say it. I got so excited. We'll put the links down below in the description for everybody in YouTube, and of course, we'll put them up on a blog on our website. So thank you, everybody, for listening in and for watching To the Moon. Until next time. Thank you for joining us today on The Coin Chat. Join us on Telegram on t.me/thecoinchat, where we discuss a range of topics on cryptocurrency. And visit us on patreon.com/thecoinchat for show notes, outtakes, and previews of additional content. Or follow us on our website, which is www.thecoinchat.net. And remember to like and subscribe to us on your way out. To the moon. Until next time.